Roll.
You're looking at another edition of Rome Elite Sports. I'm your host, Michael Atwater, with my co-host,
LaVelle Hughes.
We're live from Darlington Stadium, Jerry Sharp Field, home of the Darlington Tigers. Later on in this show, we will get a one-on-one interview with the legendary coach here at Darlington, Coach Tommy Aitken. His team has been surprising some people in the Rome area. They sit atop the Region 7 AA standings right now, number one. Let's get into some college football. LaVelle is our college football correspondent. As we recap some games over the last couple of weeks that since we've been gone, you know about the Georgia Bulldogs, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Right? Let's have a moment of silence for Mr. Gurley.
No moment of silence.
I want a moment of silence for Gurley. Well, let me have you talk.
Well, you should have done that.
Well, you talk. Let me have a moment of silence. Free Gurley, man.
All right.
Free Gurley.
Well, he's practicing already, so you know what I'm saying.
I don't think he can practice.
Yeah, he's practicing. If you you know what I mean. If you look at the news and pay attention to, he's practicing. Today was his first day back to practice since the incident happened.
Last week, Mr. Gurley ran for 164 against Vanderbilt, 44-17 victories. We had 5 teams last week in the top 10 go down. The first one, and LaVelle has been predicting, according to our thesaurus Rick, who he claims he remembers everything. Ole Miss over Alabama 23-17. What do you have to say about that game?
I told you. It was written. I've been paying attention to the team since last year. And I knew once the pieces got together.
So now you Jimmy the Greek?
No, never said I was Jimmy the Greek. But you know what I'm saying? When you get pieces to the puzzle and all of them start fitting together, what you have? A complete. You have something complete, right? All right.
Mississippi State defeated Texas A&M 48-17. Dak Prescott is slowly becoming a Heisman Trophy candidate. He has been responsible for over 20 touchdowns with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tennessee defeated Florida in a baseball game, scored 10-9. Somebody hit a grand slam.
Yeah.
Arizona State at the end of the game, a Hail Mary defeated USC. Utah over UCLA, TCU over Oklahoma. What do you have to say about last week college football's game?
All in all, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna get more surprises as the season progresses. I mean, everybody thought it was gonna be just everybody's knocking each other out, and those that was in the standings at the beginning of the season,
they ain't up there anymore.
They're not up there anymore. So that just shows you how much college football has progressed over and over the years.
Now, games this past weekend, we mentioned Todd Gurley. We'll get into the Georgia game in a minute. Alabama struggled with Arkansas, 14-13. It took the block extra point to defeat the Arkansas Razorbacks. LSU, Les Miles, some kind of way, always win a big game. And really, the LSU and Florida game was on the back burner this year for some reason. LSU and Florida typically has been one of the SEC's marquee games, and it was on the back burner this week.
But of course it was on the back burner. You got the state of Mississippi has 2 quote-unquote coming out parties. So it's
you talking about coming out party like this?
Now, I don't know about that, but they coming out. And, they making everybody believe it. So, it was automatic they was going to take a back burner.
Speaking of the state of Mississippi, Ole Miss defeated Texas A&M in College Station, which had a record crowd of over 110,000 people.
Exactly.
35-20. Mississippi State defeated Auburn 38-23. Oregon over UCLA 42-30. Duke came into Atlanta, defeated Georgia Tech 31-26. Duke is now top of the ACC Coastal Division. We could see a Florida State Duke ACC championship game again. And Baylor and TCU, I don't know if they played basketball.
It's no defense. No defense. I
don't know. I think they played. I think it was basketball.
Yeah, it was basketball because it was
61-58. TCU was leading Baylor 58-37 with 11 minutes to go.
And 24 unanswered.
Baylor came back, defeated them 61-58.
Yeah.
And one recipe in college football when you win a national championship, you can't win a championship if you don't play defense.
Right.
You've got to be able to play defense to win a championship.
Right.
So Baylor is atop the Big 12. And now, let's get into Mr. Gurley. Let's get into Mr. Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley, for those of you that have been under a cave or under a rock, has been suspended indefinitely by the University of Georgia and by the NCAA Todd Gurley has been allegedly suspended by the University of Georgia NCAA for what we would call signing autographs. Allegedly last spring, Gurley signed some autographs or memorabilia, received some kind of cash from it. A guy called the SEC officials and other people that Mr. Gurley took some money. Georgia took immediate action. Gurley has been suspended. We don't know if Gurley was just out one game, 2 games, or the rest of the season. Elaborate on the Todd Gurley situation.
Well, I've been keeping up with it since Thursday. And
he's actually been in Athens. Go ahead.
Okay, but anyway, like I was saying, I've been keeping up with it since Thursday, since the news broke. But as of this morning, he's back practicing. They don't know if he's going to play this Saturday against Arkansas, but they say it's likely. As for the guy that turned him in, they really saying that if he recants his statement, blah, 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 Georgia has a legitimate lawsuit, because, that's punitive damages of, because he came out like that. So, other words, Todd, I'm looking for him to come back and play either this week or against Florida.
And with that said, Georgia went into Columbia, Missouri. A lot of people thought Georgia could lose that game.
Exactly.
Missouri defeated Georgia soundly last year in Athens, 41-30, with my favorite player, Michael Sam. That's your favorite player too?
No, it's
not.
No.
That's another story for another day then. But Missouri defeated Georgia last year. So this year, Georgia went into Columbia, Missouri and dominated every aspect of the game. They forced Matty Mock 4 interceptions. And I've got to mention our homegrown Cedar Town running back, Nick Chubb, 38 carries for 143 yards and a touchdown.
31 yards received.
They dominated on the ground.
Yeah. And they
Hudson Mason looked good.
But they forgot about
Brandon Douglas.
Brandon
Douglas scored a touchdown. Georgia ran the ball 56 times on Saturday. The defense looked like a championship defense. Talk about that game with Missouri.
Everybody doubted, because you got Marshall hurt. You got Gurley out. You got Sony Michel out. You got, still Wesley hadn't played. Mitchell played a little bit, but wasn't to be effective. But Nick, without a shadow of a doubt, showed him that I can take on this workload. And that defense, just give him a little bit more. And Hudson Mason start doing it, coming together.
Nick carried the ball in the first quarter, Lavelle, 16 times.
Right.
He carried the football 16 times in the first quarter.
Right.
And the playbook and the plays looked kind of vanilla, but Nick stepped up and he gave the Georgia Bulldogs a much-needed win, which leads right into their game with the Arkansas Razorbacks. The game will be played in Little Rock. Arkansas has just come up short a couple of times when they played team Texas A&M, had them on the ropes. They had Alabama on the rope.
Right.
Arkansas trying to break through this week against Georgia.
And this might be the week that they tried, but if Georgia plays the way they played last week and shut that running game down of Arkansas, there's no doubt that they'll come out victory, with a victory in this game.
Since you are our college correspondent, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Is Hudson Mason good enough for Georgia to win a national championship?
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, you gonna elaborate on it?
No, he's just not. He's not a complete quarterback. Hudson, he rushes passes. Sometimes he's discombobulated in anything he does.
That's a very big word.
Well, I know the meaning of it, so it's no problem.
That's good.
For me to use it. So like I said, the passing is there. He's just not comfortable.
Is it Mason or is it Mike Bobo?
It's a combination of both.
Because I think Bobo got the chains.
Yeah, Bobo had
Hudson Mason.
Yeah,
he may have the chains on Mason because he know Mason can't throw that deep ball.
He can throw it because he can throw it. But
you can go out there and throw it 30 yards.
Yeah.
But can he get it deep? Can he go 60?
My thing is he can throw it. But the fact is, if you don't have the weapons on the field, you can throw it to Bennett. You can throw it to Conley. You know, Conley, they can utilize Conley. Conley can catch the long ball. They just won't do it. You know, my thing is why.
It's got to be trust. Bobo has in Mason, and it might be Mason's
and sometimes
attributes himself.
Now, sometimes
Mason, they can't get it done.
Sometimes I've looked at the offensive line too, and Mason doesn't trust his offensive line. Now he can trust them as a draw play or a quarterback keeper, but as for pass blocking, he doesn't trust them. It's not the matter of fact of them trusting him; he doesn't trust them.
Well, that leads us into, as we get into our playoff. As you all know, college football playoffs will be starting this year. Right now, Lavelle, I have my top 4 to make the college football playoff will be Mississippi State 1, Florida State 2, Ole Miss 3, and Notre Dame will be my 4. Who will be your 4?
I got Michigan State.
Michigan State ain't but 1. I say who's your 4.
I agree with everything you said except Notre Dame. I got Michigan State.
Notre Dame gonna show the world, this Saturday, what they do as we get into our games of the week. Notre Dame gonna show the world what they do Saturday when they travel to Tallahassee, Florida,
yes, sir,
against the Florida State Seminoles.
Right, and they will expose everything that FSU tries and will do. So
when we come back, we're gonna get into our college football predictions for this Saturday, October 18th, and next Saturday, October 25th, here on the Rome Elite Sports Network. 3. We're back with our college football prediction center. We got a very special guest coming in predicting some games today. We have the head athletic trainer here at Darlington, Mr. Dunny. Dunny is coming in to give his expertise on some college football games for the upcoming week and the next couple of weeks. So, Notre Dame and Florida State, guys. Who you going with, Dunny?
Florida State.
I'm telling you, I'm taking Notre Dame.
Oh, so you're going to be the oddball on the show?
I'm taking Notre Dame.
Dunny
FSU would be exposed, like I just said.
Dunny and I are going with the Seminoles. Now, the only difference, Jameson Winston is under a little heat for some things right now.
Right.
Jameson Winston don't play, it may be a different ball game. But the game is going to be a Saturday night in Tallahassee. I'm going with the Seminoles.
I'm looking at it like this. Even if he is there, if he's not there, Notre Dame.
Well, we're not with you on that.
You don't have to.
Oregon at Washington, Dunny.
Oregon.
I'm going with the Ducks.
I'm gonna have to go with the Ducks too. I mean, I cannot go with the Ducks.
Oklahoma State at TCU.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with TCU.
Who you going with?
I'm going to Oklahoma State.
I'm going with TCU. I think TCU defense will step up. Oklahoma State played good against Florida State, but that's tough, man. I go with TCU. We'll get into SEC country. Alabama and Texas A&M in Tuscaloosa.
Alabama's been playing bad lately, but I'm going to have to go with them in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Tide.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, if they lose this game, this will be their third loss in a row against top teams in the country. Georgia Bulldogs at the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I go with Georgia.
Everybody on this set.
That's self-explanatory.
Now, Dunny, tell us a little bit about what you do here at Darlington.
Well, Jessica, the lady that was with me, and we do the sports injuries and management here at Darlington School for the girls and boys programs and the academies.
So you heard it here from Dunny. Dunny making an appearance on the show. We're gonna see how Dunny's predictions come out when we take a look back at college football. So we're gonna go to a commercial break and we'll be right back.
About the birthday party, Sam. Stars and Stripes. Everybody fighting. Just bring your bowling shoes and 2-3 quarters.
You can't beat me in bowling.
We'll see.
Hey, you know I'm the national special ed bowling champ. I won it over all people in wheelchairs. So I'm the national. We're getting there in a minute. We're getting our high school football prediction. We got our boy Ricky Langston here to talk some high school football, some games of interest in the past, and we're going to talk some region standings and prediction. A couple of weeks ago, Colquitt County, and you said it, Colquitt County defeated Lowndes 45-27, but out off defeated Camden County 13-10. Rome, my guy Lavelle Hughes posted it when they defeated River Ridge 62-26. Jai Creamer had over 200 yards receiving against River Ridge.
Yeah. And you know, Jai Creamer, he was about 5 yards shy of breaking Rome all-time record as the longest touchdown. He caught a quick slant about 7 yards out, and he took it the distance. And at a minute, I thought he was going to get caught. He's looking back at the players, and then I realized that they were 10 yards from him. But
Cartersville defeated Heritage 51-6. Landmark Christian in a non-region game over Rockmart 34-19. Sonoraville defeated Gordon Central. We're going to talk about Gordon Central in a minute. 27-3. Gordon lead over our Merchant 33-16. Coos over Chattooga 42-15. Calhoun and the Dadsville, we talked about it on the show. Was the Dadsville for real? Were they ready for the big light? And that's what they say on Family Feud. 42-10. Calhoun, Rick, talk about that game.
42-17.
Well, you gave them 7 points.
No, they scored 17 after halftime. They went into halftime down 21-10. And they come out and they scored on their opening drive of the third quarter. And we thought they were going to make it a game, but Calhoun just pulled away. But I told you, Calhoun's been beating them for 12 years in Double A. What's going to make the difference in moving up to Triple A?
Nothing, just another A.
I mean, so, but Daresville is still in that hunt. You know, they got a chance to avenge themselves this week in a game against LFO, which you'll talk about a little later.
Because you can't talk about it.
I can't talk about the game.
Due to restrictions, you can't talk about it. The game of the week for that week, or one of the games of the week, was Darlington defeating Model 21-14. And if I can remember, Lavelle, you can shake your head or yes or no. Then Rick and I both picked Model to win that game over Darlington. We were both wrong, Rick. But it was an excellent game. Darlington takes possession of Region 7 AA. Games last week of interest. Carver Columbus over LaGrange 56-31. You had Carver Atlanta defeating last year's 5A champion Creekside 32-29. Dalton and Rome. Wow. Dalton defeated Rome 63-17. Had a running clock at Barron State. Running clock. Y'all know what that means? Clock kept running. Creekview over Woodland 34-0. Sequoia 21-3 over Cass. Cartersville 40-6 over Ridgeland. Gilman Northwest had a good game, 33-30. Heritage 52, Lafayette 9. Callaway over Cedartown 37-21. Central Carrollton defeated Harrison County 66-7.
Well, Mike,
What's up, Rick?
tell me about this kid down at Pepperell High School.
Well, that's a good segue. I'm jumping straight into that.
Yeah. Tell
This
me about-
past Friday night, Rockmart defeated Pepperell 34-32 on the last play of the game. But that's not what we're talking about. There's a kid at Pepperell by the name of Devin Collins who broke Don Calloway's state record for most rushing yards in the game.
It's in the kind of Cecil the Diesel College. He went to LSU.
I think that's his nephew.
That's his name.
I may be lying, but I think that's his nephew.
Okay. Well, tell us about him then.
Devin Collins, 48 carries, 485 yards.
48 carries. How many plays did they play in the game on offense?
48.
So out of 48 plays on offense, he carried it 48 times.
48 carries for 485 yards, 5 touchdowns. That was a state record, Rick.
So,
I think he broke my record. Because, you know, I was in that wheelchair league.
No. We're gonna talk about when Andre Hastings burnt you up out there at corner.
We're not gonna bring that up.
You had 13 tackles, but he had 21 catches.
Hey,
Well, I mean, let's talk about it.
we're not gonna bring that up on the air.
But anyway, we're gonna get into this week picks, and we have a few local games, and our game of the week is gonna be the Coosa Eagles and the Model Blue Devils, which should be a good fight. But we're gonna start off with Gainesville and Clark Central.
I'm going with the Gainesville Red Elephants.
The Gainesville Red Elephants. Well, like I'm about to take Gainesville Red Elephants also. I know this game here, we shouldn't predict this game, but it's in our region, and we got viewers that want to hear about it. We're going to talk about these Cartersville Purple Hurricanes against Northwest Whitfield.
Northwest Whitfield, I had them earlier in the season. They are a prolific passing team. Cartersville is just an all-around good team right now. The big rap on Cartersville year in and year out, they win games in the regular season.
Okay.
Can that equate to wins in the state playoffs? I'm going with Cartersville, but in certain schools all throughout the state, it just prepares for the playoffs. So I'm going with Cartersville.
I'm also going to take the Cartersville Hurricanes. And our next game, it's a tough one to decide on because either of these teams has a winning record. And we're going to talk about these Rome Wolves in Woodland.
The Rome Wolves are in a must-win situation for the remainder of the regular season. Rome has to win their remaining 3 games, which is against Woodland, Cass, and Sequoia, to even get into a play-in game. Woodland hadn't won a game in a year or so.
So,
As a matter of fact, I think the last game Woodland won was against Rome.
well, I'm going to also pick Rome, but for some of our viewers who's not familiar with the term play-in, explain to us what a play-in game actually is.
In Region 7-5A, they have an A side and a B side. Rome is in the A side with Dalton, Creekview, Sequoia, River Ridge, Cass, and Woodland. We're weird. You heard that tongue, you got a fat tongue.
We the Wolves.
So Rome right now sits in the region at 1-2.
Okay.
Rome must win their remaining 3 games to even get into a play-in situation for the playoffs. Now, if Rome finishes 3rd in their sub-region, they will take on the number 2 team on the other side of the sub-region, which has Cale, Forsyth Central, North Atlanta, Riverwood, Sprayberry. That's on that side.
So, in other words, what you're saying is if Rome can finish the season at 4-4, because they had one game that was canceled due to weather, if they can finish the season at 4-4 and possibly win this play-in game, which would make them 5-4, they can make the playoffs.
They will go to the state playoffs as a 3 or 4 seed.
Okay. This next game that we're gonna talk about is Rockmart gave up 1,000 yards last week
Is that possible?
against Callaway.
1,000 yards possible? We got to really predict that.
Yeah, we're gonna predict that.
I was told by one of the coaches at Callaway. He called me this week. We were talking about one of the players that has verbally committed to University of Georgia. Terry Godwin is a super athlete who will be playing right away when he get to Georgia. Callaway will walk all over Rockmart.
Callaway walks away with Rockmart. I'm going to have to take Callaway also. And now to our game of the week. The Coosa Eagles and the Model Blue Devils.
This game, actually, people, will be Right now in the region, Coosa sits at the top at 2-0 in the region. Darlington 3-0. Model 2-1. Chattooga 1-1. A Model Coosa winner will be getting the other home playoff spot because they take the top 4 teams in the region. The top 2 teams will host a playoff game. So likely, we're looking at Darlington will probably be the number 1 seed.
Okay.
This Coosa Model game will probably be for the number 2 seed and to host a playoff game in the playoffs.
Well, you know, Model has a host of injuries, and we hadn't really talked about it. The Dublin kid, he said he has a torn, is it a labrum? Or am I pronouncing
He's
that
in
right?
labor.
No, he's not in labor,
Oh,
but he's injured.
torn labor, and I think it's your elbow or right above your arm.
Yeah, I spoke to him on last Thursday. He said he's injured. He's gonna be out for a couple of weeks.
He's a sophomore, right?
We have LeBron, who's been on crutches since week 2. And so these Model Blue Devils, who started out at the top of our rankings, now they're getting this injury bug. And can they recover from this, Coach?
I think they have enough talent, enough depth at Model to defeat Coosa. I'm going with Model over Coosa by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm rocking the boat. Y'all know that song Aaliyah had called "Rock the Boat."
Okay. Well, Coach, we didn't have this game down as one to predict, but after doing some research and study, we found that in the region, what is it, 6-3A, the LFO is at 3-2, and Adairsville is at 3-1. So possibly the winner of this game will be second place in that region. Can you predict that game for us, Coach?
We're gonna predict when we come back from this commercial break because he was rapping. So we'll be right back. We're here at Darlington High School with the legendary coach, Coach Tommy Ather, here at Darlington. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure, Coach. How you doing,
Absolutely.
Coach?
Appreciate you guys coming out today.
Now, Coach, it's been speculation throughout that Darlington would have issues moving up from a single A to double A. And as of today, Coach, you are atop the 7 AA standards. Talk a little bit about the progress you have made and your team has made this season.
Well, you know, we graduated a big senior class last year. You know, we had 16 seniors, which is a big class for us, you know, in single A. So coming into this year, knowing that we had a small senior class and knowing that we were moving up into double A, you know, we really knew that we had a tremendous challenge ahead of us. And we felt like, you know, we were going to be a work in progress. We had a number of kids that were going to have to gain experience as we went along. And we were able to do that. And fortunately, you know, after that opening set back up against a good Murphy High School football team, we had a big win down at Bremen. And kids gained a lot of confidence. And then we came back here and had a big win against Bowden. And I think that really let our kids know that they could compete in double A. And, you know, they've just gotten better every week. And, you know, different kids have stepped up to the plate and they've gained a lot of confidence. And we're very fortunate and very honored to be where we are right now.
Well, Coach, if you would, take us back to that Model game. Because the talk around town was that Model was going to drag the Darlington Tigers. And, you know, from being around your system, I know that your teams are well coached and they're well disciplined and they buy into your system. Tell us a little bit about that Model game, Coach.
Well, you know, we knew really all year long that the Model game was going to be a tremendous challenge. And, you know, they've got a ton of tools out there. And Coach Powers does an outstanding job. You know, defensively, they're still one of the top teams in the state in terms of points given up. And, you know, of course, us coming back into the double A, which puts us back in with some of our county rivals. You know, there was a lot of, you know, I mean, a lot of enthusiasm even before the season and talk about this football game. And, you know, they came in undefeated and we came in with the 1 loss. And, you know, it was a battle, you know, for 4 quarters and then some in overtime. And you know, we hung around and made plays when we had to. And found a way to take it into overtime, and fortunate enough to make a play. And you know, Trey made a big play, the edge kid, on 3rd.
We're gonna talk about him, Coach.
3rd and 13, and you know, it just came out in our favor, and you know, that was a huge boost for our program.
Now, Coach, your remaining schedule for the season from I'm not mistaken, you have Coosa or Merchant Institute, correct?
That's correct.
You win these 3 games, you are the Region 7 AA champion. What are some of the teams in AA that, I mean, we all know about Great Atlanta Christian. We know about Lovett. We know about down south with Vidalia, Brooks County, Fitzgerald.
Right.
But what is your outlook in keeping your team focused for the remaining games in the regular season?
Well, you know, one of the things that we stress, we always have, and will continue to do so, is just one step at a time. You know, we're big on emphasizing not to take anything for granted. You know, we're very blessed to, number one, to be able to play this game. You know, number two, to be in the situation we're in, and you know, we certainly hope that we have the opportunity to advance in the postseason. We would love to have the opportunity to win the region, but you know, right now, Armuchee is our number one focus, and we got an open week this week, and Armuchee the following week, and we're just going to try to take care of things 1 week at a time.
Are you going to be sneaking and trying to watch some of that Coosa model game this upcoming week? You going to get a little peek?
That's going to be a good one. I ain't going to lie to you now. It's going to be another one, another good one. Yeah, we'll probably split our staff, and we'll certainly have some folks getting a look at Armuchee and Dade County, and we'll have a few folks out there watching that model Coosa.
Coach, I think with Huddle, it makes it easier to scout team. You can get footage straight from the email in Huddle. How does that work for you, Coach?
Well, basically, what you have to do is you swap films with your opponent over Huddle. And, you know, it's not like you have instant access. So, you know, we have a region agreement within our region to swap the last 3 games. So, you know, of course, with our open date, you know, we'll swap with Armuchee next week, and then we'll have Coosa the following week and finish up with Institute.
Now, Coach, we mentioned him earlier. He's one of the most prolific running backs in this area, not just this area, in the state. Talk about the young man, Trey Edge, your running back here at Darlington.
Yeah, you know, Trey has come so far. You know, he's always been a good athlete, outstanding lacrosse player. You know, he you know, for his first 2 years, he was pretty much a slot receiver and scat back type kid. And then last year, you know, we got him in the I formation some and started tossing the ball to him. And, you know, he's just got vision. He's got tremendous vision. And, you know, the other thing that he's developed is just the physicality. You know, this year he's brought a physicality to the game. And, you know, he's one of those kids that if you break down, or overrun, he'll make you miss. If you don't bring it, he'll put his shoulders down and run through you. You know, he's built low to the ground. He's got tremendous balance. He understands the scheme, and I just think he's an outstanding football player.
Okay, well, we're about to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we'll talk about our games from this Friday coming up, along with our game of the week. And we'd like to thank you, Coach Hayton, for your time.
Coach, am I going to have to deal with you this year in basketball, girl?
Well, I'm going to sit over here and keep my mouth shut. You know how I do, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Pittsburgh Steelers, you know how they lost.
How they lose?
Huh?
How Pittsburgh still a lose?
They got beat by the Cleveland Browns, man.
Cleveland Browns?
And we have some guys that, you know, we have some guys that really feel like Pittsburgh Steelers are a legit team. You know a guy named Lavelle?
That wouldn't be Lavelle, would it?
Yeah, Lavelle. Lavelle said Pittsburgh is a
All
team.
right, we're right back at it here on Rome Elite
Killed
Sports
that,
Network.
Lavelle.
we're gonna talk about the games from October the 24th, which is next Friday.
Before you talk about them, we got a big game this week.
What's
We
the
got to
big
get
game?
back. Colquitt County at Valdosta down in Titletown, USA. Who you going with?
Well, before we talk about that one, let's talk about North Paulding at McKeachie.
Is it Rent Football Middle School? Or
I really thought North Paulding was going to be a
they kinda down this year.
school team this year, but it seemed like they're having a down season. They kind of like like Carrollton.
Yeah.
I expected big things out of Carrollton,
They
big
have a
things out of
down
North
year.
Paulding.
I'm going with McKeachie. McKeachie had more athletes than North Paulding. You ran away from Colquitt County and Valdosta.
We're coming back to that.
No, don't come back. You get it now. Don't you come
Well,
back.
get it then.
But no, you get it.
Go ahead. So Colquitt County, they sit down in Moultrie. When you come down there, snap your chin strap down in Moultrie, Georgia.
Hey, that's gonna be. Hey, you can catch that game on ESPN for those of you that have cable. Some people don't have cable, so they can't catch it. They still got the rabbit ears.
Rabbit ear?
Yeah, they got the rabbit ears, so they can't They
All
can't
right.
catch it.
Now to our picks from this area for
Also-
October.
Warner Robins and Northside Warner Robins. The International City battle is going down. My bad.
Is
Rick.
that the home of Jesus? Young Jesus.
Well, they say Young Jesus from Hawkinsville, so we ain't gonna really get into that because you know they kind of sensitive about Jesus down there.
Okay, now to our picks from October 24th. We're going to jump to Northwest Whitfield in Ridgeland.
Both of these teams, I believe, gonna need this game because with the way the standings are in 7-4A, right now Cartersville leads the way, followed by Picken, Southeast Whitfield, and Gilmer. Northwest and Ridgeland really can't afford to lose another game. With the game being at Ridgeland, I'm going with Ridgeland.
Yeah, I'm going to take Ridgeland with a slight edge. I think they have good enough defense to slow down that passing offense of Northwest, and Ridgeland is going to run the ball and control the clock. Let's talk about the Cedartown Bulldogs in Central Carrollton.
Central Carrollton has been annihilating people the entire season. This past week, they defeated the Harrison County Rebels 66-7. They scored 51 points at half. Cedartown is a little better than Harrison County, but I still think Central Carrollton won't have a match until they meet Callaway. Central Carrollton all over Cedartown.
I think that Cedartown is experiencing life after children,
LAC.
and they're young, and they're in most games, but I think Central Carrollton will walk away with this game. We have Trine at Mount Perrin Christian.
This game will be for ratings, power ratings. Trine really needs this game a little bit more than Mount Perrin. Mount Perrin is having a good season, but I'm going to go with Mount Perrin.
Yeah, I'll go with Mount Perrin. Well, I took Trine the first week of the season against our merchant. I've taken them every week since, and they let me down about 2 times. So I'm going to split hairs, which I'm going to go with Trine.
Okay.
The next game on the slate is going to be Sequoia versus Rome.
In a sense, this is a playoff game in its own right. The Sequoia-Rome winner, supposedly Rome and Sequoia, handle business this week. Sequoia is at Creekview. Rome is at Woodland. But if Sequoia lose or win, which they have a 1-game advantage right now with Rome wins, the winner of that game possibly will get that 3rd seed in the region. Now, with the game being at Rome, we have gone with Rome all year long. It's hard for me not to go with Rome. I'm going with the Rome Wolves.
All right,
You live in Rome now, so make a good decision.
I live in Rome. So what you saying? If I don't pick Rome, I'm gonna be ousted like the guy that turned in girl.
Oh boy, you better.
I'm gonna go with Sequoia.
Oh, you better hunt. Oh, you better hunt. You better stop. You better stop
Okay.
that.
Now, this last game.
Oh,
we're
y'all
gonna
hear that?
pick-
He said something. Oh.
This last game that we're gonna pick, Darlington is gonna be coming off an open week, and they're gonna be playing on the Armurchie Indians team.
We really got to predict that. We at Darlington. Lavelle, show them where we at. Pan around and show these people where we at right now. We at Darlington, and you want me to predict Darlington? All right, that's enough, man. Get it back on that now. You see how slow he moved?
So now we're gonna predict Darlington and Armurchie.
Why did he move so slow?
You told him to pan around.
Well, he went around the world. We're going with Darlington, man. That ain't even no game to discuss. Coach
that's-
Tommy Ather, which you'll see the interview we had with him. His team is ready. I don't see Darlington losing another game in the regular season. We're going with Darlington on that one.
That's hands down Darlington Tigers.
We got our best segment of the show, 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill is when we get into other sports in the Rome area that is not football or not high school or college football. Shorter girls and boys soccer team both took L's this past weekend to West Alabama. That is a Gulf South Conference game. Basketball. Hey, we finna get into basketball. And the preseason predictions for the men and women for Shorter, they're both predicted to be 8th in the conference in the Gulf South. Didn't Shorter a couple years ago almost play for the NAIA National Championship?
Yeah, about I think it was 2012 season when they had all those transfers from Division I, and they almost pulled it off.
Shorter volleyball team. The girls are 13-3, but they took a loss this past weekend to Valdosta State 3-1. Berry soccer team, they defeated Center 3-0 in the contest. Speaking of Berry, they were defeated by that same college this past Saturday, 44-7. Berry's record right now is 1-4. Shorter, we was talking about Shorter. Look, is Lavelle gonna need a coat in the wintertime when he made that prediction? Or is he gonna come up right on his prediction?
He may come up right on that prediction because Shorter's dropped their last 2 in West Georgia. I don't know, Lavelle.
Yeah.
Get your rain cap on.
Yeah.
But
he might be all right. So Shorter is 3-2. They have a game this coming Thursday at Barron Stadium with West Alabama. The YMCA Arsenal soccer team, their select soccer program, they are 22-5. They have different teams at different age groups, so check them out. The River Cats traveling baseball 10-under team won the Fall Brawl baseball tournament. They're still playing that baseball, and if baseball is blowing up all over pretty much. The Southeast Bears, I got called out last week saying we ain't giving the Southeast Bears no love. Coach Willie and the Southeastern Bears are undefeated in the junior Pee Wee division here in the Rome, Rick. Rick, didn't you say the Bears were going to be struggling from the season start?
yeah, man, I looked at the Jamboree and I got fooled. They played 3 games in the Jamboree and they went 0-3. But I see Coach Willie had them ready and he was holding his best for the season. And I think the Southeast Bears going to be something to reckon with when they see, as always, when they see the North Rome Colts, who are now the North Rome Dolphins.
What team did you play for when you were little?
I played for the Southeast Cowboys.
Oh,
And then they changed the name to the Bears.
So they Southeast Bears expansion team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they're expansion team. Softball. The Calhoun Lady Jackets are the defending Class AA softball champs. They have moved up to AAA, and they had to come from the losers bracket to defeat Ringo to win the 6th 3A championship in softball. This Wednesday, Callaway and Calhoun will play a doubleheader in Calhoun. Thursday, if possible, Game 3 to decide the state softball championships will be October 30th through November 1st in Columbus, Georgia. So some of y'all go out there and check Calhoun against
Also,
Callaway.
on Thursday in Calhoun, Georgia, the Calhoun Middle School team will play its middle school championship.
I think it's against Cartersville, right?
The team they're going to play hadn't been decided at the time of printing, but we think it's going to be Cartersville again. Last year, if you remember, that was a great game. I think the score was something like 53-52. Cartersville pulled off the
They play
upset.
basketball?
And it was like basketball on turf.
So that's middle school, y'all, that we'll be talking about. And not a sport, but coming up October 25th, everybody go out and watch some good bands come here to Rome. The Peach State Band Festival will be here in Rome on the 25th. We're gonna leave you with some footage. What y'all laughing at? We're gonna leave you with some footage. What you're gonna be seeing with the Peach State Festival. So until next week, now our next show, we're gonna start giving it to you all on a weekly basis. We got something special for y'all on the Halloween show. We might be in a cemetery, we might be in a funeral home. There's no telling where we'll be. So for my college co-host, Lavelle Hughes, who is a avid Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and right now they're 3-3.
And undefeated in the college ranking.
Go.
It's not your time to talk.
I can't let you get off air without talking about your Dallas Cowgirls. I know it's burning you up inside. Tell me about them Dallas Cowgirls in the Seattle game yesterday. I mean, Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Tell me about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you give me my opportunity.
I'm giving you opportunity. I'm giving you your 30 seconds of fame.
Hey man, let me tell you something. I don't need you counting on this, okay? Let me tell y'all something. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys, yes, I'm gonna say it, they're the best team in the NFL.
NFL or the NFC?
NFL.
So you saying they're better than Denver?
Oh yes. I ain't doing in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. He counting me down like I really care about that.
You got 15 seconds.
Y'all need. Why y'all just on timing me at 30 seconds? We're the best team in the league. So if y'all don't want to see the Dallas Cowboys, turn your TV off. We'll see you next week. Rome Elite Sports.
Turn the camera on.
All right, y'all see it.